Oh yeah, there's the familiar sound.
We're back.
We're back. Welcome to the Real Impact Show. I'm Aaron Zapata, one of your co-hosts.
And I am Don Jax. Thanks for being with us today.
That's right. If you're on YouTube, thank you for being there. If you're listening to us on the airwaves through your AirPods, thank you for that too.
Through the invisible waves that keep us all held together.
You know what? It's those invisible waves that allow us to make money in this business.
It's what allows us to do this right here.
That's right. In fact, your phone and my phone are a huge way for us to make money.
It is the way we do make money and have made money for the past 50 combined years. Let's go.
It has. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but the favorite commercial for my family recently has been the extended battery life iPhone commercial.
With the talking outlets?
With the singing outlets.
Yes.
Where they're just talking and lamenting about the broken relationship and how we miss you and you know, that's just funny. Because we're talking about phones and wireless.
That's hilarious because my family had the exact opposite reaction to that commercial.
I hate it!
Why are they singing outlets? They look so stupid. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious.
Well, the dad joke is, you know, you gotta have an outlet. So you gotta get it out.
You gotta, but I'm bummed. Oh, do we have a hi-hat over there? Come on.
So I don't know. Maybe, let's see if we can find one. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go. We'll do the cheering.
Stop.
Yay.
There
All right.
we go.
Thank
There
you
we
very
go.
much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here every day, folks. May not be on the radio, but I'm here.
Before the wheels completely come off the bus, I think we should get to our topic.
What is our topic?
There's so much craziness out there. Our topic today is actually what's working in today's market.
That is a great topic, and the reason we're talking about it is because sales numbers are still down.
Down, yes.
You know, the year over year churn, the turnover, not good. And so I have noticed that on every listing appointment, multiple competing agents.
On everyone.
On everyone.
Absolutely.
It hasn't been that way for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And now it just seems like, hey, we're just being upfront with you. We're going to be interviewing a couple of agents in this process. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
They're being upfront about it, but it just reminds me that the competition is here. And how are we as agents going to succeed and thrive in the midst of this changing real estate market?
We gotta level up. We gotta level up. We have to be better, to do better, to serve better in this market, to have a shot to survive.
So we want to clue you in on some things that are working here. Don is a coach of dozens of agents, and he gets that opportunity to talk with them, to see high producers. We're not talking about onesie twosie kind of guys. We're talking about agents that do 20, 30, 40, teams that do 100, 300 deals a year.
Yeah, brokerages doing 700,000, 2,000 deals a year.
There you go. So it's really cool to have this insight. And so we're going to talk about some things. He's going to talk about it from that coaching level and what he's seen. I am in the trenches.
Yes.
I am on appointments. In fact, this year to date, we're recording right now at the very first day of March.
Happy March.
Happy March. It's my birthday month.
Yes, it is.
And I have a goal this year of doing 60 listing appointments, and so far I've gone on 14.
Nice.
So it's an average of 7 per month.
Ahead of track.
Wow. You know, I think, well, I don't think I'm ahead of track. On track.
Did you say 100 for the year?
60 for the year.
60 for the year.
But here's my thought. Is we only have until October.
Maybe September.
Maybe September, right? Everything's going to be crunched into the pre-vote madness.
The pre-vote.
The pre-vote madness, right?
Yes.
Because October and then early November, things are going to just shut down. So I figure, in my mind, we're going to lose 2 months of production this year.
So yeah, 6 a month puts you on track.
Right.
For 60 and 10 months. So you're ahead, just ahead.
Just
keep doing 7 or 8 a month.
I'm going to do 10. That. Let's go for 10.
Let's go 10 a month.
You know, 10.
Yeah.
Why not go 100? Let's do it.
10 a month?
Well,
for 10 months, let's go.
Yeah, I agree.
Going on listing appointments is working, right? And
yeah, absolutely.
But how do we get there? And that's really what we want to talk about.
Right. And that's where, you know, different people are listening to this at different levels. A lot of you have production and you're doing great and you want to take it to the next level. And so we're going to incorporate some things in our podcast today that really will help you take it to the next level, like delegating and things like that. We'll hold that for note, put a pin in that one. And for those of you who are struggling to get 3 to 4, 5 appointments a month, you know, and I'm talking about buyers or sellers.
Right.
You're just like, where is that good business going to come from? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're here to help you.
As we all know, the old adage is the more people you talk to, the more money you make in real estate, the more people you serve. It's a contact sport, right?
It is.
You make more contacts, you make more money. That's
It is.
usually how it goes. In a shifting market like this, what we don't want to admit or talk about, it usually takes talking to more people than we really want to, or what it used to take to get a deal. And one of the things, I was on an interview call with a client today, in fact, and she shared with me that she had, I asked her, if I went through your database and called everybody, how many of them know, like, love, and trust you if I mention your name? And she says, like 1,000 people. I said, that's great. Then you must be selling 70 to 100 houses a year from this group at all. Not the case so much. So we went through a plan of attack on how we could approach that and actually do some phenomenal work with that one lead source already. So what we were talking about was our past client center of influence database. Are we getting enough from it? We say we have a database, but what are we doing to serve that client base, educate that client base, and in return get the repeat and referral business out of it? So with that all said, CMAs, one way or another, to our people, right? We have to start with our database, the people that we know, like, love, and trust, and hopefully know, like, love, and trust us at some level. So putting a CMA out, we've been talking about this for years, Aaron. You and I have been talking about this for well over 20 years.
Yes.
So whether it's a CMA via PDF, an email, a video, a Zestimate text to a seller, those are all great, but people do that and they come back and say, yeah, some people said thank you.
Yeah.
But the money's in the follow-up questions.
100%.
The fortune's in the
Follow up.
I've heard that somewhere before. I'm sure everybody's heard that by now. So what are the three questions? And whether we're texting, whether we're DMing, whether we're emailing, whether we're on the phone, the conversation is, now that you know, we've talked about the value of your home, that now that you know what it's worth and how much equity you have, what are your plans over the next couple of years?
Yeah.
What are your plans? That's it. Not do you want to sell today? Not are you ready to list today because it's worth $1 million? What are your plans? We know motivation matters, so we want to know what they're up to. Number two, if they're not moving, and I hate to say this, everybody, most of them you're talking to, guess what? Are not moving.
That's right.
So why am I doing it? Go serve your clients. Don't be attached to the outcome. Go serve your clients. Let them know what their house is worth and ask two more questions. Second question is, since you're not moving, are you planning on doing any work this year to the home? We have a great team of professionals, vendors and contractors that I'd be happy to share with you that would be happy to help you with any of those remodel needs, like new roof, a pool guy, a landscaper, etc. And that's a yes or no. You exchange that information and get to question 3. Since you're not moving, I'm glad you're not, we might miss you way too much. Who do you know that is thinking about making a move, either buying or selling, that we can help? And man, if there's any reason to make the phone call, to send the text, to send the email, it's to be able to A, serve your client at the highest level possible, and B, getting that referral conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's fantastic. And you started with how many are in your database and do they know you? I got solicited from a company that basically would take over that lead, follow-up, database calling portion of the job. And they asked me that question. It says, so how many people on your phone? And they're like, okay, look, open up your phone right now. And so I did this. And I looked at how many contacts are in my phone. And I'm a high achiever. I like to achieve greatness in all things. And I have a total of 4,656 contacts in my phone right now.
There you go.
And he said, okay, great, that's a lot. And he said, if I called all 4,656 contacts, how many of them would actually know who you are?
That's right.
And he says, well, we can take care of that for you. We can call all those people, and we will make sure they know who you are.
That's beautiful.
And so, huge thing to offload to somebody if you want to do that, but the whole point is, yeah, they're in your database, but do they know you?
Do they know you? What are you doing? Are you here? What kind of relationship are you in with them?
Yes.
Right? Is it a once a year Christmas card and that's it? Or are you actually building relationships with people that you say are the most important to you in the business?
Yeah. So you really gave us two things here, Don. You said the database, having one. Two is sending the CMA out to the database.
Well, sure. And what's working, I guess, is having a database, but having a database by itself isn't working, right? Having a database is what we all say, but having people in a Excel spreadsheet or in any CRM
Sure.
and not doing with it with anything. I'm going to try English now. Not doing anything with it is criminal, or should be, and just waiting. I have to share a story here, and this is reminding me of a gentleman I used to work with 25 plus years ago. We're going to call him Scott. It was a rainy day in Fountain Valley, and I was young, I was part of a team, and Scott walks out of his office with a rain jacket on, bunch of things in his hand, and a recipe box, those plastic recipe boxes, busting at the seams with 3x5 cards being held together by rubber bands. And as Scott's fumbling with his umbrella and his briefcase and these cards, me being the young guy learning about prospecting, doing a lot of business with the team, hey, what are those? He says, those are my leads. I said, oh, your leads, that's cool. Are you going to call them all today? He says, oh no. I keep them with me, so when they call me, I have all the information in front of me. How often do they call you, Scott? Not often enough, but I keep them with me. I gotta go, goodbye, and walked out the office.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Is he in business?
No.
Okay.
No, not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
We have to do something. Having the database is one thing. Doing something, enacting the conversations with the database, asking the appropriate questions that lead to repeat referral business. That's the game with the database.
So I have a database. Another thing that's working for me
Yes.
is mailers.
Mailers to your database or
to my database. To my database. And here's what happens. I send out a mailer and people get it. All of a sudden I get more comments and engagement on my social media. I get text messages saying, hey, look what I got in the mail. So people are engaging with it. Because we all get this junk mail. This year's going to be a year of a lot of junk mail because of all the campaign mail that goes out. And so it's going to get lost a little bit this year, but it's not something that should be off of the table for you. I send out postcards to geographic farms.
Yep.
And don't get a lot from that.
Yeah.
I just don't. But it's a huge return on investment to mail to my newsletter, to mail to my database.
To the database,
where people like me, know me, trust me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting if you follow the stats, and I think there's a couple things with what you said. Farming does work, but I want to add a couple caveats to it. When you mail as well as the digital, as well as the email, as well as a CMA check-in, 98% of us still go to the mailbox once a week. The social media stuff, the email stuff, we can miss it so easily just because the streams are going so quickly. So the mail is a beautiful add-on to that.
Yeah.
In the farm, we've got to do more than mail. We've got to add the personal touch, whether it's us door to door or hosting events to pull people out of their house to come to the barbecue, come to the puppy training, coming to the whatever that is. You've got to mix the personal into the mail, just like you put the mail into the personal with your database.
Right.
Interesting, we do both with one, but won't do both with the other. My buddy Andy C. once told me, talking about farms, spend money building relationships. And that goes across any lead gen pillar. Our online leads, we see thousands of them. We go, how about they're human beings that could have a problem you can help solve? Right? Build relationships and help solve those problems. So,
well, and if you look at where you spend your money, you should spend money to build those relationships.
Right.
And
correct.
So working on, like, if you have a chance to spend $1,000 sending one postcard to a farm in a given year, and you send it one time, versus spending $1,000 to sponsor an event where 40 or 50 people are actually going to show up, and where you're going to be introduced as the sponsor, and you're going to be able to talk to all of those people and tell them what you do and ask for their business. I'd rather spend $1,000 on that meeting of 40 or 50 people all day long.
All day long.
Because it puts me in front of people.
Yes.
In fact, that's one of my things that I have that works, is literally talking to people. Because we're so technical, right? We're afraid sometimes to actually have a conversation.
That's right.
And so I believe in branding yourself, wearing stuff that says you're in real estate, talk about it, don't be a secret agent, whether it be like Don and I we're both wearing branded hats right now for the Impact Realty Group. I wear Impact Realty Group t-shirts, I wear a hoodie, right? Everybody, oh, you're in real estate? Yes, I'm in real estate. Do you have a question? I was on the airplane and this guy, we started talking and like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going, yeah. Whoa, you have a house to sell in a year. Fantastic, let's talk about it. Middle of the flight, he finds me on the plane and says, here's my contact information. Let's get together when we get back.
Isn't that
Why
great?
don't you come take a look at my house? And we did the interview, and he's like, next year, you guys are in.
You're my guy.
You're my guy.
That's awesome.
So, just talking to people, right? When I was getting these branded hats, the guy says, what's the best place to buy right now? I says, are you looking in California, rental? What? Oh, I want to buy a rental. Not in California. Why don't you, I've got a nationwide network. Why don't we talk about a couple of areas? And I've got his phone number, and I'm going to introduce him to some agents outside of California so he can go buy rentals. Having conversations with people.
Having conversations.
Show up.
Speaking of, something else that works is having conversations with other agents, agent to agent referrals. Last week, this week, a couple days ago, I was at the Tom Ferry Elite Retreat. We had 2,000 of our coaching clients.
That's such a good retreat.
I get to go to the team events. So for all my team clients, I love you. We have great events.
He loves you. He really does. He talks about it all the time.
All the time. The elite just there's more of us. The team's a little smaller. They're all clients, right? At the summit, it's great, but there's non-clients there. There's a lot of rah compared to the elite. The elite's just right to work, and it wasn't any different. However, the reason why I bring that up, agent to agent referrals are what it's all about at networking events. Everybody's talking about lead generation and follow-up. We had a great speaker. She was the first a female Thunderbird pilot for the Air Force. She was fantastic. Yeah, what a great speech. I'll find her name and put it in the show notes. Nicole something. Has a great YouTube channel with a lot of what she talked about on
Nicole Kidman, that's it.
No, not Nicole Kidman. No, Nicole, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. We'll make it right, and I'll put it in the show notes. A lot of talk about greatness and teamwork, and something I wanted to bring back. We did this. What was your great takeaway? I had a call on it this morning. So many people talked about the wingman code and remembering the wingman code and falling back on the wingman code whenever necessary, whenever uncertain. The wingman code simply is, I got your back and I got my back. I expect you to have your back and my back. Here are our standards. Here are our expectations. This is the level we never, ever, ever go below together. And being able to translate that into real life outside of the military in a business or life thought process, it puts a new spin on that conversation, right? Of we're in this together. She showed a picture. This is all about agent to agent referrals, by the way. Of course, she showed a picture of the 6 airplanes in the air in formation. And she asked us, how many planes do you see? And all of us, of course, say 6. And she goes, no, there's 1. We move as one unit no matter what. We're all in this together. Oh yeah, the chills fell across the crowd. It was a moment.
That's cool.
It was great. So going to those events, building relationships with the agents and staying in touch with them over the year, whether it's work related or market related or masterminding related or whatever, that's working really well for referrals and building up business too.
Next one. I found the name. I think I found her. Nicole Malachowski.
That's it. Thank you very much. There she is.
Malachowski.
Okay.
Okay.
That's her.
Yes. Nicole Margaret Malachowski.
Yes.
Inglewood Malachowski. Wow, she got 4 names.
4 names.
No wonder you couldn't remember.
Nicole.
That's right.
Yes. You found her. That's all that matters. All right. Thank you. Google, thank you very much. So we have agent to agent referrals
Yeah.
that are working. Got to get out there, got to network, got to find your connections. Past client center of influence, current client CMAs, and follow up. That's the money. Aaron told us that talking to people is working, going out and having conversations with everybody. And isn't that real estate? That's really at its core. We get an opportunity to talk to people, whether they're in the grocery store, at the open house, on the other side of the phone, responding to a marketing piece. None of that side really matters. It's, are you having the conversations required to hit the goal that you have?
And in the whole talking to people thing, you know, we can't leave out open houses. If you get a
Not
chance
at
to do an
all.
open house,
Yes.
okay,
They still work.
but open house
Wonderful.
by itself is not effective, and here's why. Well, it's not effective. I sold the house. No, you didn't. The whole point of an open house is to provide access to buyers who want to buy the house, which is great. That's why people are coming to the open house. If you are the listing agent, your opportunity to get more business is not the open house. It is the Thursday night neighborhood special open house that you do for neighbors only
That's right.
in the evening, so they don't have to come through Saturday. And then it's the walking the neighborhood,
The
door
200
knocking,
doors.
the 200 doors saying this property just listed. Do you have any thoughts of selling? It's the just listed postcard that goes out to 500 people. It's the open house. It's the sign-in sheet. It's the follow-up with all of the buyers that walk through.
Yeah.
And then it's the follow-up neighborhood door knocking. Hey, we just had the open house. Then it's the follow-up social media. It's the follow-up postcard. All of that is the opportunity around the open house,
That's right.
which really is the opportunity around the listing.
It is, and it's the listing launch formula we talk about, the under contract, the just sold, the keeping the story going, talking to people about what you're up to, getting, we used to call it, what did we used to call it? In sight of the sign, right?
Yes.
Right? Anybody who could open the door and
Yes.
see the for sale sign,
Yep.
one of them,
Yep.
at least, is going to sell in the next 90 days. Whether it's 100, 250, whatever that is, what is your listing launch protocol? What is your protocol to get 1, 2, 3 more deals off your current listing? That is definitely working right now. For FOMO reasons, for, oh, that's right, it's time to sell reasons, for the Joneses are doing it, so we should do it too
Yeah.
reasons,
Yeah.
all of them. Actually, the Joneses reason, people aren't moving for that reason anymore.
Right.
That's come and gone.
For us, for me selling, I'm getting a lot of referrals from legal professionals.
Yes.
And so if you're not working with a CPA, somebody, maybe an attorney, an estate attorney, somebody that works in probates, whatever the case may be, you have to have a referral multiplier. So agents are great. They send you referrals, they know the business. But what about non-agents that have the ability to multiply your effect? So be in relationship with those attorneys, with the CPAs, with the wealth planners, with those, you know, I belong to a seniors health collective where all the people there provide services to seniors. And guess what? Seniors have houses to sell when they can no longer keep the home because they're not physically able to.
That's a lead source all to itself.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
And so being in position to talk with others who can multiply your efforts are extremely important in today's day and age.
Yeah.
Because you only have so much time and capacity.
Yes.
And so you need others to be your champions.
Yes.
And so that one phone call to the attorney every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, hey, just checking in, how you doing, anything else I can help you with, that's really a call to 19 people. Because they're working with 19 clients at any given stages of probate or whatever it is.
Yes.
Right? And so I have to have that phone conversation with the attorneys literally every 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Hey, anything else you got? You know what, I do have this one. Oh, I have this one, it's not a probate, but they might be thinking
They're
of it.
moving so fast, if you're not in touch with them, they're not
Exactly,
thinking about
exactly.
you.
And
You're
so
right.
that's not your traditional sphere of influence checking in once a quarter. I'm really checking in without being annoying every 3 weeks.
Whether it's via text or a phone call or an email, just like we get from lenders and title reps and the hard money guys, right? Thank you guys for staying in touch with us, even when we're not throwing business, but it's becoming very valuable today. So it's a good thing. I have 2 more pieces.
Let's go for it, man. We got more than 6 here. We got 19.
I think we're going. So hold on. One you've just talked about, I'll come back to, but two is social posts. And a shout out to Marjorie Engel in Colorado for being one of many right now that are, killing it with social. But she found this, right? Rip off and duplicate. She found this great post of buyers' needs, and we've seen them before. Don and Joanne and their family are looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this neighborhood, just like this. If you or anybody you know is thinking about selling, please contact me. Well, she decided to put 5 different buyer needs for 5 different buyers. If you or anyone you know, then she took them off the platform, text or call me. Aaron, she said over 10 listing and buyer appointments from one post. She set another one out and she had 4 or 5 posts. Now, I have to tell you, she had a good social media presence. There's a lot of engagement going on anyways before this. So if you talk to 2 people a year, you might not get the same engagement she did.
Right.
But it works and she keeps doing it. So pay attention and be creative on social. Number 2, same Marjorie is killing it with her senior program that you talked about, and just put her website and events together, and being the connector of those senior programs and facilitating what needs to be done to get that information in front of the seniors, because we work last in that scenario.
Yeah.
Right, with the seniors and the downsizers, but they need all this help with finances in the house and estate planning and setting up the trust and all of that. What's working is serving those people and being there at the end of that rainbow for business, right? But it's truly a service first niche that is beautiful and fields a lot of business.
It does. Yeah. And it's very rewarding.
It is.
If you've ever gone through that.
Fulfillment's amazing.
Yeah.
Working with that crew.
So we're going to need to wrap up. We're at over 25 minutes
We are
already, but that's okay, because if you've hung out here this long, we know that success is in your future. If you actually take action.
That's the key.
And of all the things that we have discussed, what's working right now is work.
Working.
Working is work. Working works.
That's the thing. Everybody comes to the conclusion of, you mean actually picking up the phone.
Right.
Having the conversations.
And somebody right now is trying to figure out how to take this to the next level, Don. They're like, okay, I'm doing all those things to some degree. When it comes to hiring an assistant,
yes,
you have to think of them in really as an investment in your business. Most realtors say to themselves, I can't afford to hire an assistant, because you think of it as an expense. And I found that in my background a long time, until I was meeting with a coach and a mentor, and he said, the people you hire are not expenses, they are investments.
That's right.
Which means they're assets, which means they can be leveraged and can grow your business. And so you have to take these things that we've talked about, and if you don't have time to do it yourself, but you have the money, invest in the person who will then help you accomplish these things.
That's right.
The phone calls, the mailers, the open houses, the scheduling of events, the social posts. Get that person on your staff as soon as possible to help you scale.
Yes.
Before you hire the buyer's agent for
100%.
yourself, before you hire the listing specialist, before you hire any of those, hire the assistant. 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, and tie their pay to performance. Hey, we're going to pay you $50 a deal to come through this new marketing plan. Are you going to do this? Or yes or no,
Yes.
base plus bonus, whatever. I don't know how it works in your state, but that's an investment that you need to make.
That's right.
We had to let somebody go, my teammate and I, because our business was falling off a cliff with interest rates climbing like they did. In reality, we could not say to ourselves, this money we're spending is returning on itself.
Right.
So we had to let her go.
Right.
It was a hard decision. But we're back in this position now as things kind of climb out of this mess, where we're starting to think to ourselves, do we need to hire that person?
Yeah.
Because that person's going to help us scale. And
You
things
know
will
the
be
answer as soon as you can. Right? As soon as you can hire them, put 90 days away, put 6 months away, of
Yeah.
their pay, so you're not
Yeah.
worried about it every month.
Right.
That's a really good measuring stick
Yeah.
before you hire.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
not
go
a
for it.
it's not a permanent.
And it's not permanent.
You know, you're not hiring this
That's
person
right.
for the next 30 years
Right.
and setting them up for a pension
That's
for
right.
the rest of your life.
That's right.
It's 90 days.
Yes.
And have that conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna do this for 90 days. If we don't see results, you're gonna be let go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go for it.
let's go for it.
Yeah.
Pay for performance, baby.
And until that time it is your job, so you have to be ultra diligent, or your job, you have to be ultra diligent with the schedule, right? You need to have your time blocks down pat until you have that spot. The easiest assistant to find if you're needing somebody is that transaction coordinator profile.
Yeah.
Right. That one helps a lot. All the other stuff, yes, it's great to get off your desk, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Right, with the proper time blocks and the right motivation behind you. But you and your conversations are the most important. Schedule everything else around that when it comes to business, besides, of course, your appointments.
Yeah. Before we started rolling tape,
Yes.
we jokingly but really seriously said that the best thing that's working today is the stuff we started 9 months ago or 5 years
The
ago
farming that started 5 years ago.
that we have been consistent with.
That's right.
So none of this will work if you're not consistent.
That's right.
So do yourself a favor, do your future self a favor, the end of the year self a favor, moving into 2025.
I took action.
Do that person a favor.
Yeah.
Take action today.
Absolutely. Only you know if you're giving it your all. Only you know if there's more in the tank, and you know there's more in the tank. Let's go get it.
There's always more in the tank, and you can find us online. Please follow us on social media and then comment and share.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. Go to our YouTube channel for the Real Impact Show. You can find Don Jacks at
Coach Don Jackson
on Instagram.
on the socials, the Instagram and YouTube, and Aaron Zapata on Instagram as well.
That's right. Are you on Twitter?
I am.
X. Is that also Coach Don Jacks?
Same.
Okay, same for me as well. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us this week. We want to wish you an awesome week. Go and be productive. Enjoy March. Don't leave your success to luck. Work hard and earn it.
Make it happen, baby.
God bless you. We'll
Have
talk
a
to you
great
next
week.
We'll talk to you next week. Cool.
All right. Show me video, baby. All right.